because I hear the argument online all the time that like, oh, no woman would want a guy who's like a man whore or whatever.
Yeah,
I get that comment all the time.
But also, it's your job.
I mean, but that's kind of.
But it's also not true. It's also not true. Women do not care if you were previously a man whore. They don't care at all.
It makes no difference whatsoever. And like all of my exes over the last like few years have all they've all known that was what I did. If anything, they were like curious about it, but it never bugged them.
Probably turn them on more than anything.
I've seen incredibly stable women with multiple master's degree date guys that used to be male VIP hosts that have been with 600 women. Again, Dr. David Buss does a study where he looks and sees about men and women. Do men care about women's body count? And the answer was yes, almost ubiquitous amongst every society. They were far more interested in a woman's body count than the other way around. When women asked, do you care about a man's body count? In Norwegian countries, they thought it was weird if a guy was a virgin. If he had a low body count, they thought that was undesirable. So it's quite the opposite. I've just seen numerous examples. I know a bunch of guys here who are male strippers and are dating like super squared away women. It's just women, attraction cues for women. One of them is a man having confidence, dominance, whatever it is, and having a high body count doesn't take away from that.
A virgin's not fun though. It's like you do 2 pumps and it's a 3 pumps and you're like, that's it.
That's hilarious. By the way, the stuff we were talking about,
we have an expert witness.
The stuff we're talking about right now about men coming off as players looking bad. That's not true. It's just not true. And women being the best wing women, being the best wingmen that you are, that's free game. Like that's the most important part. You're getting this from this show, and you might not recognize it because you want us to like scream at women. This is the part that makes you better. They're like you want to see the yelling men and women yelling at each other. This is the
go to whatever podcast.
Yeah, for sure. If you want to actually get better with women, this is the part you need to listen to.
As far as like the body count for guys, it's again, it comes down to pre-selection, comes down to social proof, comes down to competition anxiety, comes down to all of these things are like I'm starting to see this more and more as I've been writing what I've been doing for a long time, and I'm almost convinced there's like a holistic approach to like say the red pill kind of stuff. So it's like when you look at pre-selection, when you look at social proof, when you look at competition anxiety, when you look at like a sense of urgency, like if a woman wants to get with you that night, like you even said this at one point, and I'm going to bring it up again because I do this on every goddamn podcast with you. Now you even said like when a woman like wants to get sexual with you in a very short time frame, whether that's the same night lay or maybe like the day after or whatever like that, it's a compliment to you. Why did you say that?
Well, because a lot of guys they interpret like a woman sleeping with them on like the first date or whatever.
They think the women are as worried that they're considered, I'm too easy. But
like guys will say this. They'll say like, oh, that puts me off because like I think she's easy.
Those are guys who don't.
But the guys who don't.
The case where the chick is easy though, and she has a high body count in that scenario too.
Well, so the way I always interpreted it was if a girl sleeps with me like really quickly, okay, that's a smart girl. Yeah, she's good at like I mean, it sounds a bit arrogant, but like she recognizes a catch.
Exactly the same way. A girl may sleep with another dude and on the first date, she might be a slut. If she sleeps with me on the first date, she's smart. Like, I totally agree with that.
Like, what if she doesn't work? Like, what if she has a tracker and not working out, where she's like a serial scenarios sleeping with guys?
Well, but the thing is, where I think women get this wrong, and again, I had a psychologist on here Wednesday. Often women would come to him and be like, I don't sleep with men on the first date because I slept with this other guy on a first date and it didn't work out. Mm-hmm. And he has to inform them. It's like, unfortunately, like, honey, the reason why it didn't work out wasn't because you slept with them on the first date. It didn't work out because you chose poorly. That's the reason why. Right. A lot of I'm just letting you know, ladies, are there some guys out there that are hyper judgmental and will judge you for sleeping with them on the first date? It's fewer and fewer men than you would actually believe. Yeah. If you sleep with a guy on the first date and it doesn't work out, it's not because you slept with him on the first date. It's because other reasons, because the other insecurities that were brought up. Maybe you try to push it into a relationship too quickly, or you chose a guy who has too many options, and that's the reason why it didn't work.
The guys who are
his friends or.
Well, the guys who are saying, like, the guys online who are saying, like, oh, if she sleeps with you on the first date, like, you can't take her seriously, are the guys who women never sleep with on the first date.
Yes.
He's the guy who's never had that experience.
Yes.
So, like, he can't relate to, like,
they have no frame of reference.
Same thing. Yeah. Justin Waller, when he talks about gentleman game, a lot of, like, gentleman game works. You can buy the flowers and open the door and take a girl to dinner who deserves it because she's giving you outrageous levels of genuine desire. Yeah. And the guys think that that's simply because they've never received genuine desire from an attractive woman. They never had a woman, like a woman who wants to, like, literally crawl inside your head, be everywhere you are all time, cooking,
say crawl somewhere else.
cook and clean for you, take care of you, be the source of all, like a woman who is just like obsessed with you. If you have that girl deserves all the dinners, all the vacations. She deserves all of that because she did that for you, right? But because most guys have never experienced that, then they're like, oh, you opened a door for a woman? that teach that 304 lesson. Like that's what they're like. What, bro? Like, are you serious?
Dude,
but then
I
you
would
realize
hold
if
the
it's the
door
right
open.
girl, I mean, it's not like
I'll hold the door
even
open
if you have a
for
lot of
anybody.
options and it's the right girl, it's like sometimes nice to treat a woman.
no, you should.
Class.
Like if a woman did, like no, my whole thing is if a woman deserves it,
They're
give her
sending a
the
bigger
world.
message,
But if she
yeah.
doesn't deserve it, you shouldn't. That's the whole point. Like,
So
and by the
if
way,
you
don't
find
be
out
mean
that
to
girl
her.
was, somewhat sketchy after the fact. You got
Yeah.
through that process. So that's
I think
you being like those gentlemanly things, like you can use as like a litmus test
for sure.
because if like I open a door for a girl, how she responds to that, it tells me a lot about her.
Yeah, like a girl, like I opened the door for somebody one time and they were like, I don't need you to open the door for me.
Like
and
that.
I was like,
Yeah.
huh?
I always say,
Like-
just don't let it shine in your face.
You're welcome. Whereas like somebody's just holding the door when you go,
Yeah, but
thank
like,
you.
if a woman did that, like, where's the mechanism for me to lead in a relationship or for us to even have a
No,
relationship?
you're not- you wouldn't even talk to
You've
her.
eliminated that mechanism. It goes
Yeah.
back. Yeah, you've already eliminated. It's very simple. When a man on a first date starts saying, "I'm looking for a wife and kids," well, she just wanted to. That's not going to happen now. You threw that out the door. Men should never be the ones mentioning what are we or this should be a relationship. That should always be
Are
women.
we official?
Isn't that like a red flag? The
A
what
huge
are we
red flag.
conversation?
The what are we conversation should just be from women.
Mm-hmm.
And a guy can then make the decision. If women are the gatekeepers, the women are the gatekeepers of sex, then men are the gatekeepers of relationship. Of fecundity.
Ideally.
Yeah.
Not
Well, like what's
practically
that phrase
not.
from My Big Fat Greek Wedding? They say like the man is the head of the house, but the woman turns the neck
Is the house.
any way she wants.
Sure.
I mean, the word exclusive to me is like either it's like you know what's going on, you don't need the classification or the clarity on that.
While I agree with you, a lot of women will hear what you're saying and then be in a situation with you and then be like, "What the? I thought you understood we were together,
Well, the flip
but you
side
never
of
had the
it-
discussion."
Yeah, well, what if the girl's sleeping around in the middle of the process?
Yeah.
and then she's like, hey, I want to be exclusive. And you're like, hey, just
Bye.
let things play out. As you can see, we're in a situation and it's evolving. But
Well, would you want your girl to be hooking up with other guys like as you're getting to know each other? Obviously not.
no, that's
Talking
Yeah.
to my-
obviously not.
Most guys with options, if you're dating a girl and you want to settle down with her and you find out she's hooking up with several other guys, I'm just gonna be like, I have a different option. I'm just gonna choose a different option than this one. This is like,
Yeah.
because I want genuine desire. And this is pretty undeniable at this point. Like women, when they cheat in a relationship, are far more likely to fall in love with their affair partner than men are. Even Sadia Khan, she was talking about this one time. It's like when men and women cheat, it's bad in both cases. But if a woman had a really good time with the person that she slept with, then it's going to be harder for her to come back into the relationship and to fix a relationship.
Because she'll
If a
feel like
man-
she's cheating on the guy that
Yes.
she was with. Now.
If a man has a really great time having sex with some woman he doesn't care about, he can definitely come back to the relationship and everything can be repaired.
Yeah, for men it's just sex, but for women it's I feel like it's a lot different.
Again, sometimes men have to do often is if women like you, you're going to disappoint them. You need to, sometimes you need to learn that you're going to have to disappoint them. They're going to ask you to do things that take you off your path and purpose. If I took breaks as much as my girlfriend wanted me to, I would have a business. All right. You're going to have to do things that disappoint them.